Good morning. Nope. Damn it. There we go. Okay. Good morning, everyone. See, everybody's set. Trying to make it so I can actually see comments. There we go. And we need music. Yeah. Oh, good God. I cannot breathe this morning. There we go. Okay. Now I need to turn that down. All right. Good morning, everyone. Now let some more folks join. Hey, Bo. All chorus. And it bothers me. Okay. While I'm waiting for folks to show up, just need to cut out a few things. So I have been chosen to be one of the strikers for Carolina Little Stitches. And she has created the cutest little bag. I get so anxious cutting out patterns. I don't know why, but if it's not cut out just right, I feel it the whole time I'm working with the materials. Okay. So, really need to finish the other bag that I just started. There we go. So it's gonna be a little tiny, yeah, a little itty bitty. Cannot wait. I think it's gonna be so adorable. Oh, you will have to excuse me. I am very congested this morning. I woke up with all the allergies. So we'll see how that goes on whether or not I can breathe most of this live. I can already tell that this is when I'm going to have to laminate the pieces so that they don't deteriorate when I use them over and over. And she's got a couple of little applique. And Saturday, I'm super excited because I'm going to be sewing up the Twilight Traveler from Scroll and Lavender. Scroll and Lavender? Lavender and Scroll? I want to say it's Scroll and Lavender. And I've already cut it out, and it is taking all my willpower in the world not to just sew it because I know it's going to be adorable. Let's see. So I'm using, for the Twilight, I'm going to be using this pretty mirror. I think what really gets me is, here's the So that's how the back will look. And then this will be the front, but the front will have this mirror on one side on the top, and then this little, okay, or you could do that, that works too, and this little pocket. Let me see if I can, ta-da. Okay. I think it's gonna be so stinking cute. Morning. So how are you, sweetheart? My life is a mess. There we go. Oh my god, why is there rubbing everywhere? I think a certain little kitty cat was in here when he shouldn't have been. Okay. Look what I get to sew up. It's this little itty bitty backpack. Yes, I feel barely alive today too. Is it just, hump day? Is that what it is? Like, it's just, oh, I did not blend up my smoothie enough. Okay, so bear with me for a moment. I will be setting this aside in a second. I just kind of want to do some measuring off camera. It's such a cute little tiny bag. It'll be adorable, like scrap buster for sure. In fact, that's what I'm going to do on camera. Oh yeah, all the coffee. Next week. She says she's going to release it next week, hopefully. So we shall see. I'll make sure those measurements are correct. But I think what I'll show is I'll just grab scraps to cut this out so that y'all can see how much of a scrap buster it actually is. Because it kind of annoys me when people are like, oh, yeah, it's a scrap buster. I'm like, really? Really, Susan? What kind of scraps do you have lying around? Because I'll tell you right now, you know what my scraps are? This is a scrap for me. Those are my scraps. Like, these are scraps. And I'm going to be so mad if it actually fits on there. Come here, you. Okay, almost. It almost fits. The scrap was almost big enough for it. So, see. It's big enough for the little pocket, though. So I'll have to keep that in mind. Okay, those go up there. That goes there. And we're going to turn on the sewing machine first because that would be extremely useful. And then I'm going to make this strap so that it's ready to go. The strap I'm going to put on is going to be a permanent strap. It will not be a removable. Mainly because if I want to keep the cost down on something like a bag, I just make the strap non-removable. That takes about $2-3 right off the bat. Yeah, back order scrap. Okay, so I used to get kind of like really cheesed off when people would talk about their scraps in the clothing. Like I was with one group and they sewed clothes for their kids for their strikes, and they're like, look what I did with my scraps. And I'm like, where are you getting these scraps? And then I made myself a shirt. And I'm like, oh, that's how y'all get scraps. Because you have to cut, it's almost like when you cut out for clothing, because the best way to do it is to do it on certain sides of it, you end up with a lot of leftover fabric. So that's how you get these huge scraps. The only issue with that is that I absolutely, to the moon and back, dislike sewing bags with cotton lycra. I don't like it. And that's a personal preference. I know some folks absolutely love it. That's fantastic. I'm so glad you love it. Keep on with you. I will not take your joy. But do not sing me the praises. Do not sing me the song of your people, for it will sound off key and terrible to me. That is off. Okay, this was cut just a little slim. All right. Now, got a little piece of this. This is how I use a scrap. I have a little piece of scrap vinyl on the end of my strap end. And then I'm going to put that through the slider bar. And then I'm going to turn that over. And we're going to sew that down. Now I'm going to sew across the bottom. And then I'm actually going to go at a diagonal. It's called a wallless box stitch because you don't actually go down the sides. You just go across the bottom, angled across the top, and then angled back. Yeah, the first custom fabric I had was from MK Designs, and it was their stitch mashup, which was so stinking popular. Good Lord. Whole another rant on that. But I didn't realize that it only came in cotton lycra. So that was my first dip into custom fabric, and it was quite interesting. After that, I of course made sure to double check that I wasn't buying cotton lycra. I still sewed with that because that stuff was expensive, and I already had an order with it anyways. In fact, I still might have some of it up there. I have some cotton lycras because I want to make clothing for myself. This is a fool's dream of mine. I just joined Gertie with Charm Patterns, her thing, because there was a scout dress somebody did that I was like, oh, I want to make that. Even though part of my brain was like, what's wrong with you? But it's so pretty. I want to make a pretty dress for myself. And they're like, no, you don't have time for this. I've got the equipment. I've got the material. I've got the patterns. I just don't have the time. Which I need to make. I'm trying to do better about making time for things that I want to do as well. So I have it scheduled. All right, let's see. So that's the strap. Everything's made. I just need to put it together. And so far, this is what it's going to look like. So, and I'll add a magnet on when I get a chance. And yeah, my husband agreed. On the next iteration, I'm going to put this here on the side so that it conforms a little bit more with the body better. This back seam is going to be so thick. I'm trying to think if I want to So what I'm wondering is, because I still might be able to do it on, excuse me, I lost the nail, so now I feel weird. So what I'm wondering is, should I attach this? Oh, I've made a couple of items for myself. Actually, fun fact is I used to be a clothing maker. I had a friend up north when I was younger. I would make her Queen Elizabeth costumes for the Renaissance circuit that she was on. So it was yeah. See, the problem is I really like. We're going to keep with the plan I have. But yes, I used to make corsets and huge bloody ball gowns. We would go shopping in upholstery fabric stores to look for what she wanted. She had a very specific image in mind for every season. But I will give her this. She gave me challenges, but she paid me well for them. Okay, corsets can be done. You just gotta have a lot of patience and know the first corset isn't gonna fit right. It's just not gonna. The first corset you make, it's just not gonna fit right. It might fit somebody else. God, after years, I went to make my sister-in-law one, and I don't know what happened. The measurements were off, and it was too big for her. Probably because she didn't measure herself right. There's a way you have to measure yourself for corsets. There's a couple of really, really good books on corsets. Like if you want to make yourself a really nice corset and you don't want it to take 20 tries, do about 6 months of research. If you're looking for structure but not forming, zip ties are awesome. All right, let's see. So I'm going to put this. I don't think this is going to fit in here. Am I everything you need? You better rock it. Okay, well, it's got to fit because there's no way I can turn this back out inside out. So let's see how well I can get this. First of all, I need to make sure that. Just trying to make sure that my zipper is where I want it. You go over there right now. More and more, I'm regretting that I didn't just do a drop-in lining on this. And there's still time to do it. It's just, we're going to see how well this goes. If I can't get this to like fit inside here, which it's not going to, is it? I think I'm going to have to just, oh no, it's fitting. Yay. Just got to kind of squish it. And I did not mark my centers. Okay. Because I have to have the centers marked on this or it will not work. And I might go ahead and clip open the bottom. Rock your body right. Back streets back right. Okay. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do. So right now I'm clipping open the bottom a bit. So that I can just pull it through and then close it up through the zipper pocket. Y'all, I opened up Facebook this morning, speaking of closing up through the zipper pocket, and Alexis has dropped her new pattern. I didn't need more pockets. 6 months. Yeah, I took a full, like, hardcore 6 months with an actual corset maker. God, this was 99. Yeah, 2000, when I lived in Ohio, and she was amazing to work with. So I would definitely say watch all the YouTube videos, because after she showed me anything, she was like, but you'll probably find your way of doing it. The new pattern from Aura Rosa, it's her first tote. I really like the look of it already. And it looks like you don't have to top stitch the top part, and it looks really pretty without it. Sorry, I'll make sure nobody said anything on the clock. I do not see anything. If I miss your comment, please repost it. I'm extremely scattered most days. Okay, so what I'm going to do, though, real quick, is because I reopened this hole, I'm going to go where I opened it, and I'm going to back stitch a little bit to strengthen those stitches. That way, when I'm opening the bag up through it, I'm not going to tear those stitches. What is that? Okay. But I do have another project bag I need to work on too. Yeah, if you're trying to order a custom bag from me, and it's something where I'm like, I'm going to have to do a little bit of experimenting, you're going to have to give me some time. Because I really want to make sure before I use the materials you want that I'm going to be able to make it the way you like. I have to get all the bugs out before I make, executive decisions and stuff. Okay, so here we go with this. Probably be a little bit easier if I were to turn the inside out. I think it's going to be better this way, because this way I can make sure all the layers are there on that back section. Like I said, that back section is going to be tedious. It depends. So when a customer orders a bag, it depends on what I've got going on. If I'm in the middle of con prep, like it's a month before Dragon Con or something, I let them know that I am most likely not going to be able to even start on their bag until after Dragon Con. Now, if they give me permission to do it on the live, it might be sooner than that, because I like having non-con prep on my lives now. It gives me a break from all of this. Like I have 10 wallets cut out behind me, 10 classics. I've just got to cut out the stabilizer. And I have to do the carpet ones. So my normal is 4 to 6 weeks turnaround. And that's if I have absolutely nothing going on, or I have a little hole of time where I'm like, what do I want to do? And if I can put it on the live, then even quicker. If I have to order vinyl because it's something that I don't have on hand or I have to create it, that adds a lot more time. And I let them know that I'm going to go ahead and order it once at least the deposit's done. And I'll let them know when when it comes in. That way they have a better idea of when their bag will be ready. There we go. Ooh, this is a tweet fit. Tweet like a tiger. I usually, and especially if I take orders at the convention, I tell them that I'm not even going to be able to get started on it until after my 2-day coma. Especially for something like if I have to travel with Indie Pop in Indianapolis, I don't travel until the next day because it is a 13 to 15 hour drive home, because traffic is usually just, we'll say, challenging. We'll go with the word challenging for this one. This is the front, right? I want to do that. Yes, I do. There we go. Okay, so I've got that tight fit in there. And it's tight because I'm having to really shove this in here. That's going to be a tight fit coming out there. Okay, so everything's a tight fit. Nice. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I did up my... And if I have to draw out something because they're like, oh, I need this random fandom that nobody's ever heard of and I can't, and I have to design it, then it's definitely going to add a couple more weeks to it, because now I have to put aside, time to actually draw it. So it just all depends. There's a lot of factors in that equation of what the time is going to be. But I will say, I spoil the heck out of my custom orders. Like most of the time, y'all don't ask for any of the extras, but I will look for like special zipper pulls, or I'll figure out a different pocket method that works so much better. If it's like I have somebody who has specific needs, and because they're short, they don't want a tote, like a wide tote. They want more height than width, which I understand. If you're short, that just makes you look even shorter. So I want to make sure that what I make for them not only fits their needs, but fits their fashion. Like I have a customer who, she is a very tall woman. She's amazing too. A lot of times she doesn't buy crossbody bags. And she told me this like the second year she bought something from me. She's like, well, I don't usually buy crossbody bags because the strap never fits me. So I have one started doing slightly longer straps. Mine start at 60 inches. That way there's a lot to work with. But also now I will make a simple strap that I know will fit her well, and I keep it at my booth. So if she's like, oh man, I really love this crossbody strap. Okay, well, we can replace the strap. I've got one right here for you. And I do that. Ooh, see that? This is just fighting me. Shit. I guess I am going to do 3/8. Where are you at? Sorry, my lining shifted. So I didn't catch it on one side here. All right, so this might do okay as a, come on you. This might do okay as a drop-in lining. It looks like it's just big enough that it shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's just drop-in linings can be a little bit tough. Yeah, I see right there. That's not attached. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go back around and make sure I catch the damn thing this time. That's okay. An extra set, especially on that back strip, is a good idea. I really do love doing custom bags. I get very anxious about them too. But mainly I get anxious when I do a custom bag and somebody's like, oh, I trust you. Don't trust me. Please don't trust me. I need specifics. I need you to tell me exactly what colors have a visceral effect on you so that I don't accidentally use them. You've got to give me something to work with besides I trust you. Actually, my least favorite thing is like this last Thanksgiving. Was it Thanksgiving? It was either Thanksgiving or Christmas, but I think it was Thanksgiving because everybody was at work. I told my husband, find out what everybody wants on Thanksgiving and I'll bring it in because they're having to work. They usually volunteer anyways, but they're having to work. And it would be nice to bring them some lunch. I don't mind that. I think that's really a good idea. Hey, Carol. Good morning. I'm glad the snacks and coffee are kicking in. But one of the workers, mother of God, you've got to be kidding me. One of the workers was like, oh, I don't care, whatever is fine. I'm like, no, that's not how that works. It's not whatever is fine, because whatever isn't fine, you're going to say you don't like something. In fact, that actually happened because one of them, somebody brought in a cake. It was a really good chocolate pudding cake too. And somebody was like, oh, well, one of the people that said, oh, I'm fine with whatever, said they didn't like chocolate. I'm like, well, then I guess you weren't fine with whatever. It drives me nuts. Oh, it's very rude to me to just sit there and go, oh, I'm fine with whatever, because you're lying. Why are you lying to me? You're not fine with whatever. It's okay to be specific. It's okay to say, oh, like me, I don't like beans. I don't like beans. I never have. So all I say is when somebody's like, oh, well, I'm bringing such and such. Oh, well, the only thing I don't like is beans. So just let me know if there's beans in it. That's it. That's all I want to know. Okay, for some reason, this side is being a pain in the butt. So now I have to try to make sure that it actually stays put. Where did I clip threads? I clip threads there, and okay, so yes. So now I've got to sew over this. Bear with me for just a moment. Just have to make sure that it actually stays put this time. Okay. Let me see if that worked. Yeah. I said that I didn't mean to. It was one of those days where my filter was just on blunt. And somebody was like, "Oh, I'm fine with whatever." I'm like, "Liar." And they were like aghast at me. I was like, "You're lying. You're not good with anything. There's something you don't like." "Oh, well, exactly, you're lying. So just write down what you don't want and let's get on with life. Because now you've used up time." I don't mean to be so blunt sometimes. I just, my patience for 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 over consideration. They're like, "Oh, well, I don't want to put you out." Well, now you're going to put me out because I'm going to bring something, you're not going to like it, or you're, God help us, you're going to be allergic to it. Like, I don't dislike blue cheese, but if you put it in a wrap, I'm going to probably die. And I don't want that. A candle? Oh my God, I'd accidentally set the house on fire. Mm. Charlie would help me set the house on fire on accident. But yeah, it's actually called a candle lighter. It's in my Amazon shop and it's rechargeable, so you don't have to worry about batteries. But I love that thing. All right, let's see if I can get this bag through this tiny hole. What is wrong? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Why do I think this is a good idea? I got Decoville light on this nonsense and freaking marine vinyl. And I'm sitting here going, sure, it'll go through this tiny hole. I mean, we can get babies out this way in these tiny holes. Those things stretch. This should stretch, right? No, it ain't stretching. Oh, that's why. Okay, maybe that'll help. There we go. My extra threads was caught weird. Okay, come on. Let's see, that wasn't too bad. Oh, thank God it's nail day, because boy. Mal, now that you mentioned the odds in my favor, when I go to sleep, I listen to random books that I've listened to so that I can just kind of like nod off. The problem is there are some that I haven't listened to in a while, so I find myself like paying attention. But I had Hunger Games on. Will it come for you, bad boys, bad boys? There we go. Purpose. Okay. What you gonna do when they come for you? Okay. So I'm making sure everything's actually staying right. Now I'm going to push this in. Clip some threads. There we go. Now, I did do a plain color on the other side because I'm like, it's going to be against your body. But now I'm kind of like, maybe I should do both sides with it. That's definitely something that puts the cost up is, oh my God, this is so cute. And I put that little piece with the scraps right there. Unfortunately, it's against the zipper, but that's okay. We'll figure that out later. Alrighty. So I'm going to start clipping this so that I can top stitch that. I might have to find something to pull my hair up. Sometimes I I just don't want it up, but oh, sometimes that's not my choice. Okay. That's gonna have to be. And I gotta get my squishers out. There you are. I almost throw them up. All right. So I've got a little bit of bulk right here that I was trying to avoid in sewing. So I'm squishing these corners. And thankfully, I did measure right. I wanted to make sure that when the flap and this back piece were put together with this, that it would sit right in between, a little bit in between the back panel, so that it wasn't in the seam of the sides. Okay, I think we're ready to top stitch this, because I don't know if I'm ready to top stitch this. Alrighty. Rough and never land. Alright. I've got to get my hair up because it's getting a little annoying. Do I have anything I can randomly just put in my hair? I've got to start stocking things to pull my hair up. I used to have hair ties all over the place, but Tiamat decided that those were her toys and would run off with them. She still watches me when I pull my hair up. She's just like, what you doing? What you doing with that, Mama? Mother, are you going to let me have the toy, Mother? It's not a toy, kiddo. But Mother, I must have it. No, sweetheart, you don't need it. It's fine. You don't love me, Mother. No, I really don't. You do not need my... Okay, that's a little better. All right, I'm stalling. I think that's why I like bound bags so much, is I don't have to top stitch it. All right, I'm going to lengthen that a little bit. I'm going to start in the back. I'm doing a little bit of a wider, it's more of a 3/16 than a 1/8. No, it's like 1.5/8. I don't know. It's a fat 1/8. Let's just call it that. Where's the other thread? Oh, baby, don't say a word. Probably should have trimmed this, but I think it actually might help, because it's giving my foot a whole area to work on, but we'll see in a moment. Oh, the things I would do, not for a Klondike bar, but for a cylinder machine. I'll show you in a minute why I'm doing a bigger than an 1/8 seam allowance for my top stitching. Come on. There we go. That's actually not doing too bad. Nice. All right. Let's if I go something like nice, 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 then my nephew will start making seal noises. He'll start clapping and going nice, 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 because he says when I do that, it sounds like a seal. Like, okay. Come on, you. Because otherwise those are going to get flung everywhere. There we go. Come on. All right. Go back down a little bit. Did a longer stitch, hoping that would help to alleviate any issues over the larger bumps, which it looks like it did. Holy crow. So the reason I did a wider seam allowance for my top stitching is because when I fold in, I kind of do this little fold where it's got a little bit, the lining is pushed down just a little bit further. If you do exactly a 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch and you can go on the outside, you might end up stitching in the ditch, which is fine. But I tend to like to make sure that that lining is stitched down well enough. All right, let me see if I can figure out which. I'm playing which thread have I already pulled through. There it is. Okay, so it's this one. I'm not trying to pull them through to tie them off. It's just going to be neater to pull them through and then clip them back here. There we go. And that seals them nicely. So, a couple of things that this bag needs is obviously I have to figure out how I'm attaching this. It's going to need a magnet and it needs its strap, but I'm not going to lie, I'm really, really happy with this first test. Usually the first test, I'm like, wow, I know nothing of anything. But this bag looks really cute. It looks kind of like a saddle bag, like something you would put on the side of the saddle on the horse or whatever you're saddling. I don't judge. Okay, so let's seal up the inside though before I forget. Oh, and inside, yeah, now you have this little clip too. I like that. I like how that came out. All right, so first things first, we're going to be glad that I used a very flexible lining. Okay, I almost want to watch the Hunger Games, but I don't like that it feels like they whitewashed Katniss because she's supposed to be olive skinned, but I don't know. It's been so long since I've read the books, I'd have to go back through. And yeah, I know I'm listening to them as I go to sleep, but I woke back up with the interviews with Senna, who was the best character. And at least they get stuff solved in them. Like at the end of it, you're not like, oh, okay, so it's just another problem to tackle. You know, it feels like they actually do something about everything. Not like with Divergent. Oh, somebody told me that's why the third movie felt like they didn't finish anything because apparently they split up the books. They split the third book into 2 movies, you know, like they did with Twilight. Come on, you. Hang on. There we go. But then they didn't make the fourth movie. And I'm like, holy crow. If I was like a reader of those books, I would have been so mad. Like, what the what? Why didn't y'all just make them both at the same time? Sorry, I'm looking for my painting shears. There they are. You know, the fairies, by the way, have been unusually quiet as of late. And I don't know if they're planning something or they're just like, hey, we've been kind of mean lately. Maybe we should chill. They might be like, oh, she says she's making us something, so maybe we'll be chill for now. I don't know, but I haven't really lost anything recently. So I'm like suspicious. Okay, we're going to see if I can actually close this pocket though, because the way I did it, it's going to be a little tough. But I've already figured out how to fix that for the next bag. Why is it so warm in here? Okay, so let's see. Boop. What time is it? It is 10 to 9. You know what that means? That means that I can cut out that little itty bitty. Let's see how that goes. Okay. Because I'll do all the hardware and stuff, finish this up later, because I'm going to have to figure out how I'm attaching the magnet thing that I designed. All right, here we go. Is it the best closure? No. Is it at least sealed? Yes. Put those away. Did I do that? I did. Well, I am not smart sometimes. Okay, here, we can fix that. Hold that box. Org. 'Cause I don't really know. Okay. What we're going to do, because I'm used to just sealing it up because I folded it in. I did not fold this in. There really is no place for me to fold it in. So what we're going to do is take a small piece of binding, and we're just going to bind the bottom. It'll be fine. I'm clipping the edges with my pinking shears just to make sure that, and then I'm going to double seal it by going over the edges with my lighter. Forget my past. If you want to get with me, better make it last. Doing crazy, no precious time. If you right together, we could be just fine. Okay. Gotta love a test bag. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, so see, I've got a couple little like flurries here. So I'm going to clip these before I put this on. But that's the way it is. Now you know what I feel. Those don't go in there. Okay. And then I'm going to take my candle lighter. And I'm just going to go across it and kind of seal up any loose threads. This is waterproof canvas. Actually, I think this is water resistant. I've noticed that the water resistant frays easier. but it is a thinner one. So as long as you're sealing it, you're fine. Be my lover, you have got to give. All right, so we're going to see how well this works. From A to Z. Get the B, gotta get the B. Okay. This is going to be inside a pocket. And if I wasn't concerned with fraying, I don't think I would be too worried. However, I'd rather cover it with something so that it's secured and not at chance of fraying and opening up than worrying about how it looks, you know? So I'm just adding a little piece of binding to it. It'll be fine. Just going to sew across it. Hopefully not run out of bobbin at the very last minute. Ooh, let's not set fire to our binding. See? Ta-da! Okay. It's just a little pop inside. Boop. All right, so now that everything is sealed, everything is top stitched. Put it all in there nicely. Close up the zipper, it or in front of it. And I think I might actually sew this on. Let's do that. Where's my... Oh my God, it's on the table somewhere. Shiza. Nope. Well, nope. Yay, I found it. I don't know if this is going to work. Just trying to take off these. There we go. I can't believe that actually worked. So now my edges aren't like sharp corners. I don't know why I don't like sharp corners. I just like a nice soft corner. Oof. Don't breathe that in. Okay, so do you think I want it behind it? It's alright, it's alright, alright. There we are. Light of my nights. Okay. Just kind of marking that. Where's my... Okay. Let's see how well this goes. This might end up getting put... See, the problem is if I put it inside the flap and the flap comes out a little bit longer than I want, then I now have to figure that out. Usually by the end of the bag, I'm done with trying to figure things out. Okay. So at this point, I'm just kind of stitching it on with a little bit of a box stitch and a prayer that I don't knock things over. Oh, I know what that does. Okay, let me see if I can. Oh. Make sure that my threads are out of the way. Okay. Okay. Oh, Jesus. I hadn't actually taken the bobbin thread off. So, okay, let's see how we are. Yep, I think I like that. Ta-da. So that just means that I think I will try to put that in there. But like I normally do, I'll just make sure that the button or that the magnet isn't put on. Honestly, everything seems to sit nicely. I want it, again, a couple of changes. This I want to put on the side so that it doesn't do this. It does this, and this doesn't get pulled as much. I like having the zipper on the back. I just know how I'm going to want to do it instead on the inside. This works out nicely. I like that. The inside I'm going to do differently, but not by much. And now just add the strap, which is, now I just add the strap. So with a fixed strap, you have your slider connected. You make sure it's not twisted, and you put your piece on the inside. And then I'm going to start at the bottom. Actually, no, I am going to start at the top. I'm trying to decide. I may have spoke too soon. Those two. Where's the longer one? They can go far with it at least. I'm trying to decide. I think I like it there. So I am going to start at the top. And what I do is I lay it the way I want it to kind of lay. And then I lay it against it. And then pull it through that ring and then through this ring, which I think. Meow. Nope, I put it on backwards. Hang on. I hear you over there on the table, and you probably shouldn't be on the table, should you? Why are you challenging Mommy's patience the last couple of days? Okay, there it is. Make sure it's straight. There we go. And then wind it around.
Yeah.
Meow? No, I'm talking to Charlie.
Oh. Hey, Charlie, what you doing up there? I don't think you should be up there.
No.
Oh, yeah. Just because you want love and you think you're in trouble. Okay.
He knows he's in trouble. It's not that he thinks he's in trouble. He knows he's in trouble. You know what? That might work. I'm going to try something a little bit different this time. I'm going to take my piece of tape and wrap it around the end of my webbing. Now where'd it go? There it is. Okay, so go over there for a minute. I'm going to take the sticky tape off. I'm going to put my scrap piece through my rectangle ring, get it in position, make sure it's on the side I want it to be, and then I'm going to take my webbing and I'm going to bump the webbing up against the ring and then fold down that. Ta-da! And that's how you do a fixed strap. Now I'm going to sew that down. Yeah, see how it kind of wants to automatically go this way? And that's because it really should be either on this or to the side. I'm thinking actually taking out that curve or something. I'm trying to figure that out. But I definitely want to move the webbing. Okay. Now I'm just going to do a complete box. After I sneeze, good Lord. I sneeze so loud, my husband says the whole neighborhood says, bless you. He's not wrong. Oh, my Lord. Okay. This is going to be fun. Fold up the bag a little bit. Now, a fixed strap can be a little bit more challenging because, of course, you're having to get your whole bag under your machine in some cases. So you just want to make sure that if you're doing a fixed strap, that it's worth not adding that cost to it. Yep, that's exactly where I want to go. Because sometimes the struggle of putting on one of these is not worth not putting the swivel hook on. If a customer's like, yes, I really want this custom bag, I just need to keep the cost down a little bit, I will find ways to kind of help us get that cost where they can handle it. I hope one day we can get out of the habit. I hope folks can get in it, because I say we and I don't do that. I don't do this. But when you go up to an artist and you're like, wow, that's a lot. Don't say that. You know what's a lot? The effort of putting up with you. That's a lot. Now, if you're like, I wish that was in my budget, that is a way to express surprise at the price, but not be insulting about it. All right, let's see how this fits, how this sits. That's nice. Oh, other way. Listen to me. Okay. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I like this. Because, see, it sits right there really nicely. I like that. That sits really well. Easy to get into. And it looks like I can go up even further, which means I can definitely put this strap down a bit in size. Yeah, because of this, the way I've got that curved, it kind of goes with the body more. And see how that pulls, though, that way? So, yeah, I definitely want it over here. Because the further up you go, the more it does that. When you go... when it goes lower, it doesn't pull as much. But it's almost it almost fits better like right here in front, which is where I like to have my bag anyways. Oh. But you've got a zipper that's easy to get into for you on the back. And like I said, this flap will have a magnet so that it stays closed. And you'll have you can clip your keys right there. So if somebody goes to grab them, they're not going anywhere with them. Okay, I do like that. All right, I've got some notes for it. I will send some pictures to my customer and see what they think. Now, I'm very curious as to what we can make with this. I've already started cutting out the pieces for it, but not the actual pieces. Okay. So this is the Bitty Bug Pack from Carolina Little Stitches. And it looks absolutely adorable. So the front pocket has to be lining, or the front pocket needs to be vinyl because it's vinyl. Try that again. It needs to be vinyl because it's raw edged. Jesus Christ. That was fun. It looks like your front, though, your main body can be whatever. Okay. I do need to let her know that she might want to turn this exterior to the right, or this foam piece to the right, because it doesn't quite print on a printer with borders. And I don't know why everybody has borders now, but I have yet to come across a really good, inexpensive borderless printer. So we shall see. I need to do a sublimation day. Maybe I'll do one of my lives when I'm sublimating stuff so that y'all can see how I do that. Let me know if that's something that y'all want to do. So I kind of had to guess where this ends because it got cut off by the printer, but I think I did. This, I think I have some scraps too that I can use. All right. Now, I'm not going to be giving measurements because this is still in a testing process. I do like the fact, though, that she has 2 zipper panels on here. For the Bitty Bug, for Carolina Little Stitches, it is not just yet. It is supposed to be out next week. I am lucky enough to be part of her strike team. Come on. So she posted this and I was like, can I do it in live? And she's like, you got it. And I'm like, yes. But she does have 2 zipper panels on here. One is if you are using a number 3 zipper, and one if you are using a number 5 zipper. So they are a little bit different in size, and that is fantastic. She does take into consideration for that. I got a couple little just 3D pocket. Good Lord. Okay, well, give me an extra page. So for the live, we're going to do what I call scrap busting. I am going to get my giant box of scraps, and we're going to go through and see what I can make out of this with scraps. Matching scraps, I hope. Okay, so actually, I'm sorry, I lied. There's one box. There's one box. And there's the drawer. Ooh, and I have scrap, and there's a drawer. And I have scraps of waterproof canvas I can use. Ah, I'm okay. Ah, that's a real light. Trying to take me out. Okay, stay. Oh my God, I just got an idea too. Please stop me. Okay, so I have an idea that I'm going to do in the next one because I'm definitely going to end up doing more of these. But I have this scrap these scraps. Why do we have so many scraps? Oh, here we go. I've got a good chunk of the Mummy. And she has... she has one of the appliques as a ladybug. Well, you know, I might just be able to do a little scarab applique. Oh God, I love this. That is from Cosmic Fabric Creations. That might work. I'm going to see what kind. I'm going to look for random pieces that I know normally I'm keeping because I just can't let go, and see if I can make a bag with them. See, there's some Cowboy Bebop. Ooh, I didn't know I had some of this left. Oh, doggies. All right, I think what I'm going to do, well, that was short. I got out all my scraps because I thought it would take a hot second, but apparently it would not. Yeah, it's from Cosmic Fabric Creations. They are probably going to be doing another vinyl rerun really soon. But but I love their designs. Their stacked designs are great because it means you get like a bunch of characters in one cut no matter what. The pattern I was sewing before is a self-drafted pattern that if I can figure out how to make it work and then also figure out how to digitize it, I might actually look to sell it because I really am very happy with it. It's just going to take a while. That's the first time I've sewn that one. This is the one that I'm testing currently is the Bitty Bug pack. It is a tiny keychain one. And I am going to do some scrap busting. We are going to find tiny scraps and use that. Wow, I have a lot of tiny scraps. I guess I'm going to be making a bunch of these darn things. Okay. That should be good for lining. You know, all she did was just make it okay for us to keep scraps. Because this is my bigger scraps. Ones that oh, good God. That hurts a little bit. All right. Now, what I'm hoping is in here is a scrap of this really pretty starry fabric or starry one that I've had before. Nope. I keep scraps like these a lot because, like for my classic zip arounds, I do a middle piece. I split the body, which helps. Ooh. So this is glow in the dark vinyl from a panel. That might be what I use. Also that. What's this? No. What if I do a Beetlejuice one? I'm gonna put them on top. Woo! There's one in here that's got a smell to it, though. I mean, some vinyls you get, they're like whoop whoop. But it's very difficult to throw away large scraps, you know. I think I'm actually going to use that glow in the dark. Let's do that. Okay, so basket goes over here. Alrighty. So I have this. Kind of looks like Starry Night. Yes, Carolina Little Stitches. It's the Bitty Bug. Bitty. Bitty bop. I think actually I'm going to have enough of it here. Let me see. Because I need a back piece. And I need strap vinyl. But I'm going to use that. Okay, where's my ruler? I had a ruler. There it is. Okay, so yeah, I'll have enough of this. Sweet. One lining. Okay, and then I need lining, so I might need more of that than I thought. And then I need this as well. Okay, perfection. Oh, and I need a little piece of this. I want to get a little piece of some clear vinyl. And I've got this really pretty, fun, shiny for the back. Okay. Let's see how this goes. So I need one of these. And I might not put the front pocket on this time, mainly because I want to get a feel for the bag and because I don't want to cover up. A lot of times, so, ow, madre de Dios, hang on. I just slammed my knee into my table. It's okay. It just hurts. Oh, God, it gets right under the bone. Denise, this vinyl, I got this off of Cosmic Fabric Creations. I might actually have some in their retail. Okay, so let's see. So there are two reasons that I buy a pattern. The main reason is because it's shiny, new, and pretty. You know, the reason we all buy patterns. However, the reason I will remake a pattern is if I can do it for production, or it's a great pattern to show off fabric, because as a strike artist, I have to think about what is going to really show off that fabric, what's going to make it really want people to buy this fabric. I guess I'll just cut it out like a normal human being. So those are the reasons. Now, if I'm doing for production and it's a very complicated pattern, I might streamline it a little bit. Like, I might not do all the pockets in it. Well, I used to be really bad about not putting anything inside the bag. And then I started thinking more about form of functionality as well as the fashion of the item. There is no reason that a bag cannot look amazing and be incredibly useful. There's no reason why it can't be both. All right, there's our first one. Look at that. So if I want to do a bunch of these, I might not do the pocket on the front. Now, the pocket, thankfully, this is not a 3D pocket. She has a 3D pocket one. That'll be the next version I do. But if I'm wanting to just do a quick bunch of these to where it's just a little keychain bag, it'll take down the cost a little bit, as well as make it really, really easy to just quickly sew. Again, there's reasons why I love a bound bag. I love the shape too. It's so adorable. So cute. Okay, so then I need you better watch out. Some guys will be about. Okay, so it is kind of the same. So when I cut out pattern pieces, most of the time now, I don't cut out their zipper pocket piece or the zipper overlay, because I have my own that I do. which I'm thinking of kind of upgrading it a little bit. I just need to figure out how I want to put my name on the overlay. Whew. Okay, so that'll be both bodies. So like she has the 3 pieces for this. One has the bottom pocket place, a tiny pocket. And actually, I will say this tiny pocket would be great if you shop at Aldi and you can put your little quarter in there really easily. Your quarter will fit right in there. You have the little flap with the snap and it'll keep it safe. So you always have your quarter for that, which I like. But she has the piece for the front. She has a separate piece for the back. And then she has a separate piece for the lining. It is the same piece. So if you decide that you just want to cut one out, I do still keep the papers I print out. And that's because if this one gets ruined, I can just reprint it. Also, what might be done is because there's no measurements, so it should be fine. It's got the placement here for the pocket. So what you could do is cut this part out and then laminate it after you cut that out. And then you have a placement. So if you're like, oh, I really want so-and-so to show up on this, well, then you can use this placement window to make sure that you're not covering up their pretty face. That's one of the things I really like about most of Cosmic Fabric Designs, CFC, is that they do these stacked versions, and that means you have a good chance of just getting a good chunk of characters that people are going to like. Somebody's going to like one of these characters, or if they just really like the show. So I love her stack designs. But that would be great, and then you can do that for no measurements. Okay, so these are 2 back. She's giving you a lot of options for this. I'm excited to try to do all of these options. Not that I have 1,000 things on my plate, but you know me, new, shiny, thanks. Adorable. So what you can do then is laminate this piece after you cut it out, but don't cut out the window yet. Laminate it and then cut out the window. And that way you can use that to trace it as well as a placement window. Same with your top here, because it looks like you can add a zipper to the back. So I think those would work. And you can do the same thing with where's the other one? Because I don't know where my papers went. There it is. It's up here. Like, see, she also includes a little heart and a little, so it can be a baby eat a bag. How stinking cute would that be? To just, you have a heart and that is your favorite pin for right now. Now I got to figure out how to make it an eat a bag. Brain, stop, please. I need you to stop. Okay, so let me see. So this would be a fun project too. If you're making a bunch of these for like teacher gifts, these would be really, really good for start of the year teachers. Like everybody does teacher gifts at the end of the year. I'm like, go ahead and start off at the beginning of the year. Start off at the beginning of the year. This way they already know that you're an involved parent. So start at the beginning of the year, make a bunch of these, and give them out to the teachers. Just don't give them a Starbucks gift card. Starbucks is a supporter of non-watermelon. All right, so I've got my back. I've got my front. I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to set that aside for now. Because it's a bound bag, what I'm most likely going to do is just kind of do a rough cut and then seal them. In fact, that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. There we go. So there's one lining. And down on my knees, I can take it. Okay. It'll be close, but it'll be fine. Now I know I don't think this is long enough. It is not for my innards. Where are you at? Back to the scrap bin. Ooh, she don't know what she's done. I have a good chunk of scraps. I'm gonna cut these out too, don't I? Like, I have all these tiny scraps that I just can't use even for pockets. Nope, that's definitely not long enough. Just trying to see if I have any more of this gray. Oh, there we go. There's some. Let's see how big that is. So I can at least get my zippers out of that. And then I need a piece for the gusset. I'll do that in a minute. Okay, so I need my bottom gusset with this, which I hate cutting out straight lines on paper, so I'm just going to okay. So I'm just going to carefully, without revealing to you what I'm cutting, cut these out real quick. Love this one. Okay. Which is why I'm using this super glittery, there we go. Here's my gusset. Control. Back into the scrap pile you go. And then I need. What did I do with? Oh, there it is. What did I do with that scrap of Cowboy Bebop? Can't explain what your love means to me. Okay. Go. Okay, cool. This would be a great way too to use up some zipper scraps, because you don't need that much of a zipper. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the little tiny pocket because I've got this extra bit here that I don't think I'm really going to be able to use much. So I'm just going to do it out of the same so that I don't lose the fabric pattern as much. Can't explain what your love is to me. So I do have to bounce at 11 because I need to get lunch, and then it's a nail day. So I'm trying to see how quick I can make this, because a lot of times you get a new pattern and it takes you a while to do, and then the second time you do it and you're like, why the hell did this take me so long? Make sure that when you're cutting out this flat pocket, this 2D pocket, that you're cutting it out with long, okay, so don't move your scissors, move your fabric. So I'm clipping down, but I'm not closing all the way on the tip of the scissors. And you really don't want to lift up. So I go around that corner and then go all the way, but not quite clipping. I open the scissors and push the fabric to the back of it. There we go. Tiny pocket. Plus, my heart, there's something special in my heart for a tiny pocket. Okay, so I've got just about everything. Shut up, stomach. I cannot believe you're already hungry. Killing me. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to use this as the gusset, because I know that that's not going to fit the zipper. Back to the little pile. Ow, madre de Dios. Oh, God, that hurt my nails. That's a big chunk. Why in the world is that in the scraps? What are those? Weird. Sorry, I'm just finding some really random scraps in here, and I don't know why they're in here. It should actually keep this nicely. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, do I have any? Oh, for the love of Pete, Decoville Light, why are you fighting with me today? No, that's blue. I think we'll see what it looks like. Oh, goodness. I wish I had a scrap. That's too late. Too late. Okay. So we're going to see how 1-inch webbing does on this. And I'm trying to decide if I want the red or the blue. I think the red's going to go better. So we're going to use the red. Oh, it's going to be an afternoon of cleaning up everything again. I cut my zipper a little bit long. I'm not using 2 zipper pulls. That is probably, and it's going to be a hot take, and I know people are going to disagree with me, but this is probably the most unnecessary bag to have 2 zipper pulls. It is tiny. You don't need to go fumbling around for 2 zipper pulls. That's just wasteful in my eyes, but that's me. Do as you will. I'm going to cut this zipper panel in half. Alrighty. And then I think I'm ready to start. So it is 20 to 10. I should easily, and I'm going to say easily in the nicest manner I can, easily have this done by 11. That gives me, what, a full hour? An hour 20. So we're going to see if it takes me longer than an hour 20 to put this together as a brand new pattern, cut to finish. So far, it is only taking me about 10 minutes to cut everything out. And that's mostly running around getting scraps. Okay, so I'm going to start with my pockets and my outside so that they're ready. I've got a zipper pull. I'm going to put one of my little handmade on there. So first off, I need to do something. No. Yes. Okay. So a tip of something you can do when you're going to cut out something clear Like, I'm not actually going to cut out this body window or this back window thing to trace it. I'm just going to put my clear vinyl over it. I'm taking a dry erase marker and I'm just going to trace it on there. And I can do corners because I'm just going to, instead of actually cutting out the little rounded edges here. There we go. See? I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. I'm going to use my corner rounder. It'll be easier for me. All right. I do not remember where I got this iridescent vinyl. I came across it, I think, for a custom, and was like, sure. Sting. Alrighty. So, like with regular vinyl, you want to make sure that this is got nice straight edges on it. You want it to be good and even. That's why I cut it large. I'm measuring. I know where to. Ow! Sorry, my nail got caught. I think I'm going to go just a smidge bigger. Go on and fool me. Pretend that you love me. I'm just making sure all my edges are nice and straight. Cut this, and then I'll cut I'm going to cut the top, and then I'll cut out that little window or little half moon. And as you can see, I'm not really moving my scissors. I'm moving the vinyl. Ta-da! Go on and pull me. I know that you need me. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is have a freaking mess over here. I don't know what y'all are going to do when you come on and I'm actually organized. So I'm just taking my little corner punch and punching off those corners so that now they're nice and rounded and I didn't have to cut it out that way. And then actually, I think I was smart for once. Hot dog, y'all, I was. So I did the marking on the protective side. So now I don't even have to clean off the markings. They're already cleaned off. Okay, so I'm going to put, the nice thing is this will stick. I know where I belong. Nothing's gonna happen. Yeah. Alrighty. High above me, she's so lovely. I'm gonna mark my centers real quick. I feel like that's important. Like, I know I could sit in the living room and watch a TV, watch a show or something, and have these all traced out and just cut out everything. Who's masked and fancy free? She's high society. The best of everything. How big is this? Never really offer. There we go. Now, I'm lucky enough that I'm using a glitter vinyl that's sticky. Just about. Okay, so that'll be good. So So it's staying on nicely. So I'm just going to go and sew around. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to chicken foot at the top. So I'm going to stitch once. And then I'm going to lift up my foot and I'm going to angle. Not too much. And then I'm going to back stitch, stitch, and then move on forward. Moving right along. Now the reason I'm doing the chicken foot is so that when it's getting pulled at over and over, it has a couple of places to, come on, here we go. It's got a couple of places on that stress. There we go. Just lift that up. Ta-da! We have a wee little pocket on the back for your ID. And just put that in there. Or a card that you use all the time, or your Metro card, like a bus card. That would be really good, especially if it's got the reader on it to where it just has to acknowledge its presence. You don't have to slide it in or anything. You can just throw your little bag on there. If you do it violently. Be like, bam! I don't know. I think the coffee's kicked in. And I think about what I want for lunch. Because my husband's off today, and I planned on going to get lunch. Or maybe I can send him for lunch. What time is it? Do you think I can have this bag done by the time he gets done with lunch? Done with picking up lunch? Okay, so I'm going to get my tape. I'm going to let go of that because that was dumb. There we are. So I'm going to take a little piece of tape. I kept my tails long and I pulled them to the back. I'm not going to worry about tying them off because I did back stitch, but this will give it another sense of stability. So I'm taking them and I'm just going to kind of do a little twist. Nothing too tight. Just kind of twisting them together. Or not. Here we go. Come on, y'all. Okay, just give them a little twist. Nothing too tight because I don't want it to pull at it. And then now they're out of the way. And we've got some supported stress points. There we go. I love this so far. KC. I call Kayla of Carolina Stitches. I call her KC because I know probably about 20 Kaylas in the sewing world alone. It's just Kayla's everywhere as far as the eye can see. And so I just have to I've decided how I call folks so that when I'm talking to my husband, he knows who I'm talking about, who I'm speaking of. So it's like, oh, I've got this really cool pattern that I want to do from Kayla. He's like, who am I, Casey? He's like, oh, okay. So I am sewing together my lining to my back, just like you would do any other bound bag. Aaron, what are you doing? Okay.
What you need?
Do you just want to do a regular lunch? Do you just want to eat those enchiladas for lunch and then have Sakura for dinner?
Yeah.
Sarku for dinner? Okay, that'll work. All right, carry on.
All right, one more.
Oh, can you bring me my capybara cup?
I can.
It has tea in it. It has some tea in it. It might need a refill. So this is like so adorable. Look at that. And I have not cut anything except scraps. You have to understand, like, I don't get to do scrap project because everybody's like, oh yeah, it's a scrap project. I'm a pain in the butt about some of these things. Like, they have to be placement. And I'm like, So I'm trying to get better about that too. Like, a part of me hates that I didn't place this like properly. But this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. This is how we're feeling. Where are you? There you go. Okay, let me see. So I've got the back taken care of. That's going to the side. That is, it's supposed to have foam in it. Apparently I'm not going to worry about foam because I already put this together. I don't think it's going to need foam because I'm using a lot of like really sturdy stuff, but we'll see. We shall see. Now, where is the bloody Capicera? Thank you. Oh, that's so much better. Ooh, that's starting to taste old. It might be too strong. It just needs some ice. Where the flipping fuck? There you are. I'm like, where did the stupid pattern piece go? Okay. 3/4. 2.5. Okay. So, when you have to place down stuff like this, Amber's going to kill me. Now I want to do shaker ones of this. So I've got some washi tape. I always keep washi tape with me. It's another great thing to have at your sewing table. I think I'll just make myself some taquitos. One of our friends made some enchiladas, but they didn't realize that I don't do beans. It's 5/8. Because I'm not just good with anything. If you were here for the earlier commercial, it feels uneven. Whew, why is it so warm in this house? Nope, that's good. Okay, so I got my little pocket. I've got a piece of washi tape on it so that it will stay put. I'm going to lift, though, where the washi tape is because I hate having to unpick it out of the stitches. I'm always worried. So, again, I'm going to stitch once, back, forward. Then I'm going to do my little chicken foot. Do a little hey. God, just from Wish Upon a Star, I know she's going to want to do a bunch of these. These are so stinking cute and right up her alley. But I know the poor thing's going to do exactly what I wish I had done, which is to edge coat the edges of my vinyl. Okay. With you. Okay, so again, I'm going to pull my threads to the back. I haven't decided how I want to put a tag on, if I'm going to worry about said tag. I might put it in the very bottom or on the side. I think the side might be too big. Yep, see, ta-da! Little pocket. You can put whatever you want in your little pocket. Okay. I'm actually going to tear this in half. I'm going to line up my pocket. Now, I will say right now, I'm doing this without instructions. Hey, Carol, you know me. You know I don't ever like the thought of buying a purse. But girl, my ma'am, my partner in crime, I found a hey bag. And it is actually like one of those plush bags. And it's hey. And I'm like, oh, kind of need it in my life. like hardcore need that in my life. So I'm not going to do a hey here because I'm going to stitch, back stitch, 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 back stitch, and then stitch across till I'm just about to the end. Back stitch one stitch before. I'm going to try to make sure that I don't go over the flap, and then back stitch again. By splitting up your back stitches, they don't look as obvious, but they still have a nice strength to them too. But I want that hey bag so badly that I think it's in my cart. Like we don't talk about my Amazon cart. Oh, I'll have to post him in the group sometime. I love hey. I've connected. I don't know, man. I don't know why I connected so hard with a chicken, but man, when he wakes up on that boat, I felt that scream in my soul. I'm like, yes, hey, yes, I understand where you are coming from when you wake up and you have no idea where you are. We also don't talk about my high school years. I don't remember a lot of it, which might be a good thing. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, so I pulled all my threads to the back, and I am putting a piece of tape. I'm kind of pulling them taut. I've got a piece of tape there, and I'm just going to kind of clip these so the strings aren't getting in the way. Saw you. And now, I got to take the tape off. I'm like, wait, how do I get in the pocket? Now we have a tiny little pocket. Now you can put a snap on here. I'm not going to put a snap for now. I'll see how it works because it's pretty close to that pocket. Again, I'm going off of this without any instructions. She just gave us the pieces to try out. Like, I'm not unhappy because I saw Amber do one and I'm like, listen, I'm so jelly, I'm jam, and I need this in my life like ASAP. I have the Holly book from Stitch and I'm like, I'm already trying to figure out how I want to do it. I mean, I went to Juilliard. I love him so much. He's like, he voices my husband's favorite character on American Dad. Like he does 20 voices on American Dad. But there's this mad scientist that he does. And it's Aaron's favorite character. He loves that guy. Like the guy cracks him up. Let him do it. All right, I need to find some American Dad friends because I think my gaming group is tired of me mentioning American Dad. I was like, oh, well, it's an episode of American Dad, and I see them just roll their eyes. I'm like, you know what? We all have our thing, okay? We all have our thing that we spend too much mind power on to other people, but lives rent-free in our heads. Okay. Now, before you do this step, you want to put your foam in there. I forgot about said foam, but I'm also okay. I don't think with the materials I'm using, it's going to need foam. If you use a cotton fabric or a waterproof canvas or the Theratex from Fabric Therapy, I think you'll need that foam. But I think this is going to be pretty squishy otherwise, but I could be wrong. It's my first time making it. So I have a back and a front and a rogue thread with two little stinking adorable pockets. Yeah, you can just put your
your little Aldi quarter in there. Bam. If you're going to put a quarter or something in there heavy, I definitely recommend a snap. Like I said, I'm trying to decide. It's probably going to get a snap. Also, if you're using vinyl that has like just like a soft back or something, heat transfer vinyl. Just put a piece on here and here, and then you've got instant lining, and you're good to go. Oh, God. Okay, so cuteness is being achieved. Now, I did pick this scrap specifically, remembering that I have some adorable corgi webbing. So we're going to see how well that works with it. Speaking of, it needs the straps, doesn't it? Hold, please. Stay. Okay. Just kidding. I'm looking at I'm going to see if I can find a picture of one of them so that I can do a little bit of what the hell did they do. Okay, so she didn't put I do like that little. Okay. Just need the back of it. Okay. Nope. Sorry, I'm trying to find a picture of the ones that Amber made. There we go. I'm trying to see the back of it. Okay, well, fine. It's a really old iPad, so it does not behave properly. Magnetic. Nope. Yes. We'll go with black. That'll be fine. Actually, no, that nickel. Bam. Okay, so I think the strap is to make it look more like a backpack, but I think it's going to block. So I'm just going to use a tiny piece of webbing. Hit me, baby, one more time. And breathe as you. I think this will also mean that if somebody doesn't want to like cut out another scrap, they can just use some webbing. Starting to get super impatient about this webbing order too. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on there. Just a second. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. Just trim that off, probably. Okay. So then it'll have a little hook there. Let me base that down so that I, A, don't forget, and B, I can have it done. All right. We'll see how well this works. Again, this is a lot of testing. This is how I treat a pattern anyways. If there's steps I already know I'm going to want to change, I've started to just change them. because it seems silly to be unhappy with something. Okay, so that is the front and back done. Now we're going to do our zipper. We're probably not going to need any more webbing. But at least I got to use a tiny piece of some corgi butts. So for those of you joining, we're doing a test for Carolina Little Stitches next pattern, the Bitty Bug Bag. It's just it'll be a little tiny backpack. Okay, and I'm on the gusset now. I'm doing my best to not speed through, but to know what amount of time it's going to take. So it is 5 past. So what I have gotten done has been done in 25 minutes. Probably could be a little less if I wasn't going, now what am I doing next? type moments. Or where did I put this? This is just the first test. When I pattern test, I generally end up doing like 2 or 3. But I don't do a lot of pattern testing anymore because the couple of pattern testers that I've worked with have been very unreceptive to criticism. That sounds diplomatic and nice. I need these, not this. So if you are a pattern creator, you do want to make sure that you are going to be okay with somebody telling you, I don't like how this works. And instead of going, well, I'm the creator of it and you'll just have to deal with it, do the bag the way it's supposed to be, then that is definitely something I'm not going to look forward to doing, working with you on. Also, normally I would mark my zipper middle and the middles of this, but honestly, it's a small piece. I know I'll be able to center it properly. Oh, I've got some clips here. Okay, let's see. I hope he's not trying to like get rid of that freaking tree branch out there. There's like a trunk of a tree that came down a few weeks ago, and I keep telling him not to worry about it. All we have to do is take it out to the front of the house and it'll be fine. But yes, now I will say this is also the first time that I haven't just like done a pattern test exactly as it was written. And that's because I'm doing it just like on the fly. So, and without instructions. Yeah? Hey, little man. Yes, I hear you. Do you want to come up and say hello? There you are. Hi. No, don't get tangled in the thread, please. Come on, come on. There you go. There you go. Hi. Say hi to everybody. You said hi to YouTube. There you go. Say hi to TikTok and everybody. Rub your face. I love you, little buddy, but you're in the way again. Thank you, sir, for the visit. I appreciate it. Oh, yesterday he had to be everywhere I was. Okay. You know you shouldn't be up there. What are you doing? Leave it alone. Okay. Ooh, this is a A wee little gusset. It's a wee little zipper gusset. Come on. So I think this is, so funny thing is, a lot of times the smaller the bag, the more difficult it can be. And that is because you're like really dealing with small amounts of everything. So just take your time with stuff. However, so with this is the first time I'm doing this pattern. It's also just pieces. I've been sewing long enough that it's not difficult for me to, it's not as challenging to me to figure out how these are going to go together. It may take me a hot second, but it is a simple design, simple enough that it shouldn't be too hard with the directions even to do this. It's just a little bound backpack. When I say little, I mean it is a wee little thing. Just trying to keep my zipper teeth straight. What, Mur? I hear you murring down there. What do you want? Get down. Down. Come on. You're not really supposed to be up there because you're knocking stuff over. Mommy's carefully placed piles. Oh, he is a PETA lately, let me tell you. Okay, so there's one side of the zipper panel. Let's see. Boop. The things you say. So at this point, all I'm going to do is line up my zipper panel ends and then scooch the zipper in between it. You unbelievable. Damn it, usually that works. There we go. Okay, so I've got one end sticking on there. And then I'm going to put my lining. Unbelievable. There you are. I'm like, where did my clips go? And here we go. There we are. Okay, I'm going to do that. Sorry, I was just trying to think of where I wanted my tag. I'm going to put it there. I think it's going to get caught in the seam, but that actually will work. Actually, that'll work out pretty well. Hang on a moment. There we go. Come on. Okay, so I put my vinyl tag on the side. It's going to end up getting caught in the seam, so I just went ahead and sewed it down there, and so it'll just kind of sit like on the side. That works. Okay. Because there's no way I'm putting a metal tag on here. This bag does not need that much bling. I got other ways to bling it up. So I'm going as close to the zipper. Bobbin got me. I'm going as close to the zipper as I can once I have a full bobbin again. Hopefully I have one wound. That should be enough to get us through. We'll go back with that. May the odds ever be in your favor, because boy, howdy, I'm going to be cutting it close. That's okay. If it runs out, it runs out. This is a test bag. She's got an old heart. Come on. Don't hang quite as high as it used to. Only sleeps when it's raining. She screams. Only sleeps when it's baby. Okay, so I was getting as close as I could to the zipper. This is still a number 5 zipper, but it's got the teeth are large, but the zipper tape itself isn't as wide as I'm used to, so it is getting a little bit closer. So I do have to I'm going to need to take that in consideration, that if I do use this zipper tape, this is a less expensive zipper tape, and it's one that I use in certain pockets where I don't want to add a whole lot of cost, because see, it's just a solid color zipper. Days. But it might mean that if I decide to use this type of zipper tape, that I need to use the number 3 zipper tape or panel piece. There we go. Because like I said, she's got 2 pieces. She's got one for number 3. So if you're wanting to use, smaller manufactured zippers, you can without too much issue and not having to adjust it. Like, I think this is going to be just big enough so that this is going to pretty much work in my favor, it looks like. Usually I have to trim down my zipper panel. Usually I have to trim down my zipper panel because I don't get as close as they want you to. But that's okay. I don't mind doing that. It means that I have a really nice straight zipper panel then. Ever since I started doing that, it has really just made my zipper panels look so much nicer. Okay. So now I have a zipper panel. Oh, God, it tastes old. Sorry, the tea tastes weird to me. Okay, so it's going just right there. So I'm going to go ahead and base down my sides. Somebody tell me how to get out here. Okay, fine. Oh, for the love of Pete. Okay, there we go. Just trying to get my, excuse me, my zipper feel. Okay, hang on. There we go. There he is. Okay. I was just trying to figure out because I can see my husband outside the window mowing the lawn. God, I hope he did the cat boxes. He worked the weekend, so the cat boxes didn't get done. Oh, they were ripe. Okay, where are you at? When I do a bound bag, I don't normally cut down the zipper. I like having a little overhang. It feels like it gives it a little bit of extra stability. I don't want to forget to put the said zipper pull on either. I'm just going to trim any excess I have here. Okay. And I'll do that in a second. First, let me put on my zipper pull. Yeah, we'll just do this. It's fine. And I want it with you. Come on, you. There we go. Nope. A little too high. Hang on. Okay, that should be good. I have a zipper helper, and yet here I am struggling. Okay, so got my zipper pull on. And over there. I'm going to go ahead and get my gusset going here. Just going to clip the sides. Okay. We're working with a 1/4-inch seam allowance everywhere except top stitching. By the way, if you're not able to do a pattern without the instructions, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, absolutely nothing wrong with that. You do what you've got to do. You make sure that you're in a comfortable place. Don't automatically assume that because I'm doing this without instructions that you should be able to do it without instructions. That's not how life works. I've been sewing bags like this for a long time now. There's also quite a bit of guesswork going on right now, which I wouldn't be doing as much guesswork if I had the instructions. Not a big deal right now. It's not like the pattern's going to be released without instructions. But we're also excited. She was like, well, here you go. I'm still writing instructions, but here you go. Have at ye. Okay. So I went ahead and sewed both sides together. And I can just top stitch it at once, hopefully. And I say hopefully because I want to make sure that everything lines up nicely. Can't be wrong. Okay. Yep, that'll work. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to top stitch this side first. Actually, I'm going to trim down some of my seam because I've got my my label here. So I'm going to do a little bit of a trim of just the I'm not trimming the zipper, but I am trimming some of this edging out, some of the lining and that, so that it's not so thick there. Do that on the other side. The other side shouldn't need it as much because we're looking at only one layer. But I'm just kind of clipping corners because that's going to, I'm going to clip corners without clipping my dang stitches. I'm just clipping corners. That way it'll help with the bulk in the sides. There we go. Interesting. Okay. Now, if you do this where you're top stitching both at the same time, make sure that everything is laying straight. Come on, you. Because if it's not laying straight, then it's going to go all crooked on you when you're trying to put it together. Okay, so there's my little gusset. Let me turn that inside out real quick. Ow, madre de Dios. That really hurt. All right, and then I'm going to baste my gusset. Alrighty. Oh, I jammed my so I jammed the foot of the sewing machine right in between my nail, right under my nail. That's why I was cursing a little bit. All right, so everything is basted together. Let me start clipping some threads here. And then I've got to trim down my gusset. Without understanding. Okay, here we go. Where do you belong? Oh. Okay, so I have a full little circle gusset. Look at how adorable that is. Oh, so cute. Okay. So I have it right sides out right now because I'm going to line up my sides. No one's gonna drag you up to get into the life where you belong. Now, I will say that with the seam allowance and how tiny the gusset is, I might actually widen it, but I want to see how it looks with this size. But that also, it's also going to let me know if I want to use, you know, more expensive vinyl for the zipper panel, or do I just want to have the whole gusset the same vinyl in that? Okay, I'm gonna need those. Yes, meow. Come on. You are the most graceless thing. Wait. You're caught. Thank you. Why don't you sit for a second? Okay. Huh? You gonna be in my way? I do love you. I really do, Charlie, but you're a pain in my butt. Okay, come on. Go. Oh, yeah, you love your muzzle rubbed. Okay, I hear you purring, but baby, you are on like everything right now. Come on. No, don't use me to climb, please. Oh, good God. Ow, why are you slipping? Oh. And now I am all torn up on the side of my arm. Thanks, Charlie. When they say love hurts, I wish they'd been more specific. All right, so I've got my centers marked. I've got some clips. I've got my scissors to clip corners. Let me make sure I have my screwdriver available. I'm going to put this inside out. And I'm going to start clipping around. So I'm going to clip at my centers. There's another place where there's marks. I'm guessing that's where it's probably where your pocket or your sides are supposed to match up, but I haven't had a pattern that I followed that in forever. I just use my centers and then kind of squish it where I want it to be squished. You're getting laminated for sure. Okay, so if you need those extra marks, please use them. I mean, that's why they're there. That's why the pattern creator put them there. I'm just stubborn and like to put my marks where I put them. But I also end up lengthening things, using different seam allowances, making gussets longer because I don't like a too snug gusset. So I'm clipping slightly into the gusset at where the major curves are, especially down here at the bottom. Okay, I thought I heard that say. It's Destiny's Child, but, you know, same thing. Let's see. So we're going to see how well this works. I'm going to start at the top and start kind of squishing that in. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to push down. So I'm pushing that down until I know how that sits. Okay, so my measurements work out nicely. Now, you want to do the same thing on both sides and on the other side when you put the back on too. So you want to remember, did I start at the top or did I start at the bottom? Because it could make your gusset do this weird turny thing. Generally, the first time I do a bound bag, I start at the larger curve because I want to see how well it's going to fit into that bottom tiny curve. And it looks like both my seam allowance that I used plus a small addition to the gusset, like a tiny, tiny addition, worked out nicely because I'm not fighting with it. I'm not going to be fighting with this gusset. It's going to go exactly where I want it to. And it's because I'm not going to have too little gusset to work with. And look at how cute that is already. Stop. Okay, what time is it? It is 20 to 11. So let's see if I can get this done by 11 o'clock. So I'm going to go at 1/8 around first. So just like with every bound bag I do a basting stitch to kind of tack it down where I want it. Make sure that everything's going to fit nicely when I put the binding on. Let me go grab some binding too. I usually open up my zipper because it lets me fight with only half of the zipper panel instead of the whole thing. Especially if you have like a super stiff zipper, or like sometimes I put boning in my zipper panels to help them stay bouncy and firm. Oh, I'm going to be able to use binding scraps. Oh, that makes me so happy. This is what I would definitely call a true scrap project. I've seen better days than the fall dropped. Because nothing on here is really not a scrap. Everything is a scrap except for the zipper tape, which honestly, I think some zipper tape scraps that I could probably use for this. Okay, so I did my tacking down. I'm just going to flip out the top. I just want to see how that looks so far. Stop. Oh, it's going to be so cute, y'all. Give me a second. Oh, I can't handle it. It's so adorable. All right, let me see what I've got in my scripts. My scrippity scraps. Okay, so I've got that. It's kind of a scrap. That's not really a scrap. Ooh, I'm just going to throw it on the floor, apparently. I thought I heard something. All right, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to use this cream colored one. Actually, I've got gray, so let me just use gray. I'm just going to deal with that later. Oh, stay over there, please. Wrists are bothering me. Okay, so let me see. So when I do binding, I don't pre-measure it. I just measure around the bag itself. Give it a little bit of space. Cut that piece and then use that piece to cut out the other side. Okay, so that'll be something else. Excuse me. Both sides are clipped. Okay. Now I'm going to do a quick singe. I'm going to have to do an ASMR live one day where I just sew without much talking. And y'all can see my full potential, my full speed. Level 9,000. Sewing fast. Okay. So I'm going to put some 1/2-inch tape on it. Probably could use a thinner. Gosh darn it, come on. But I want to see how this works. With regular binding, because I'm trying to make sure that any patterns I do get right now are not forcing me to buy a lot of more hardware and things like that. It it does annoy me a little bit when I have to find specialty hardware for something just to make the bag. If I see in tester pictures that they used other hardware, just like regular stuff, then I'm fine. Okay. Like the Mini Alice from Ora Rosa, I will say it looks best with the hardware she suggests, but I like that she has a separate plan for you as well if you're not wanting to use that, buy that specialty hardware. All right, so my binding is set for both sides now. Let's see how well this goes. For this, I'm going to sew back up my panel. Oh, let's say. I usually start on the side because you can't really see that normally. I'm going to write down how long this is, and then I will see about using waterproof scraps next, because I used to use waterproof canvas all the time for it, because this almost feels too wide. So I might have to use more scraps, which is fine. If I'm using up the scraps, it's not a big deal. So this is going to be a little bit bunchy in there. Okay, and then we go ahead, which is why I think I definitely on my next one, I'm going to talk to Casey and let her know and ask her if it would be okay if I tried out with a wider gusset. Because I think a wider gusset would be better. But we'll see. Come on. There we go. Because 1-inch cross grain tape works amazing as binding, but not for something with such a limited gusset, I think. Let's see. Damn it, I see you. That'll be fine. Mainly because I'm trying to get this done and I've already made some decisions on what I need to work on. Okay, let's see how that looks when it's turned. Now, when I was sewing that on, I was sewing it on at 1/4 of an inch. So I do think a wider gusset would behoove me to do. But I mean, come on. How adorable is that? Okay. Tape did I use? 15.5. Hang on, I gotta make a note. Wherever my pen went. Okay. Time to wait for tomorrow. You find it. Okay, so now I'm going to put the back on. Now remember, I've also got that little piece of webbing there. So we're going to see how well that goes. Find it. Find it. Just going to go ahead and put 3 clips up top to kind of get that round going. And we're going to put a couple clips down here. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. Oh, the lawn looks so nice. The last place we lived in had this god-awful hill in the front yard. And the backyard was terrible too. Like, it was just, it would take him 3 to 4 hours just to mow. It was ridiculous. So I'm just kind of clipping into my curves to help the gusset spread a little bit for me. Okay, so like I said before, I started at the top on the front panel, so that's what I'm going to do here. Make sure I push that down nicely. And see how that curve is just kind of tucking right against it really nicely? That is because I don't have a too tight gusset. I feel like I'm talking crazy. Like, people are looking at me like I talk crazy when I'm like, well, why is that gusset not fitting right? And they're like, oh, it's just a little tight. And a little tight is me trying to put my 11-inch foot into an 8-inch or into an size 8 freaking shoe. That's a little tight. Actually, that's way tight. Where's the clip? I guess I lost the clip. Now, of course, you don't want to overdo it and make it way loose either. I've had to work with that before. That's honestly just as bad. But this means that, to me, that's easier to fix. Okay, so that's what we got so far. We got some shiny in there. Now we have to squish. Squishy, squishy, squish. There's so. Okay, so what I just did is I've got it sitting here. I put my finger in the middle. I pull that back as I squish. And as you can see, it just spreads those clips out. But you don't see the back panel poking past it to where I'm going to have to yank it. That is a properly fitted gusset to me, in my opinion. Okay, so we're going to do a tack down. Where are you going? Come on, you. I'm really hoping I have enough thread for this. Bobbin for this. If not, I've got close enough. It's a test, so I'm not overly concerned. Okay, so I'm going to tack this down at 1/8 of an inch. So that I can make sure everything is sitting properly for the final seam. Here we go. Go. Okay, where are we at? Here we are. Just making sure everything's sitting nice. Black velvet, if you please. There we are. Again, anytime I'm lifting up my sewing foot to adjust things, I'm taking my foot off of the sewing pedal. You don't want everything to go to hell just because your foot twitched in the wrong way. All right. Stay. You're almost done. So we got the test bag all set. What's going on over here? Hang on. We're almost done with this test bag. I'm feeling so accomplished today. That's awesome. Come on. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we're going to add on. First, I'm going to zip this up. There we go. Okay. I thought I saw a little fraying, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in there and let it sit for a second, just in case. All righty. You kind of want to put the majority of your binding on the side. Oh, that's why. On the side that you don't see. That's going to help you to make sure that you actually catch it. Come on, you. And that's why I'm kind of thinking that if I don't make the gusset larger, I'm going to need to use a different binding method. Which it's a short enough piece that it's a short enough piece that I can probably, there's a good chance I can still use some of my waterproof canvas scraps. There we go. Okay. And just cut it at like probably 3/4 would probably be fine. I don't know if I'd go as small as 1/2 inch. I think 3/4 would be good. So if you're going to cut your own binding for this, I would use 3/4. Because 1 inch is just too big for the size of this gusset. Especially the zipper panel. I mean, I will say it's also, you know, you're not going to really see a whole lot of the inside. It is a tiny bag. It's a bitty bug. When I come around. So now I'm sewing at 1/4 inch, and I'm sewing in the round. I really can't wait for her to release this. Y'all are going to love this bag. It is a really quick sew. I mean, as you can see, even me stumbling through it, it's barely going to be a 1/2 hour, you know. I'm just kind of trying to smooth out some of this binding. All right. Oop. All right, that is it. Oh, I love you so, and I'll let you go. Ow! Okay, that should be all my stray threads. Gonna open this up. So because I don't want to stress this zipper out, the zipper ends too much, I'm gonna, as quickly as possible, scooch that in. So you have a little duck mouth. Actually, it looks almost like that plant from Mario Brothers. Mm. Come on, there we go. Yeah, I think I would like just a little bit more gusset. There we go. No. I think I want just a smidge more gusset. I think a little bit more gusset, and I would be completely in love with this bag. Because it is adorable. It is indeed a fast make. But I think just like maybe a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch bigger would be brilliant. I love where I put, because it's got a nice wide opening. I do like that on a small bag, it opens wide. That is a good thing. Oh, Carol, you cracked me up. I need to figure out how to put subtitles on my live, at least on TikTok, because I know I had someone who was like, they wished I had subtitles on, and I'm like, I wish I was smart enough to figure that out too. Yeah, I think just a little bit wider, but other than that, I think it's absolutely fantastic. So here it is. It's got that little piece of webbing on the back. I do think using webbing is not, or definitely not this long of a piece. I think if it was about here, what I might do, like if you did the webbing and you like sewed that so that it was kind of a rolled handle. I thought about doing that, and I think next time I definitely will. Then I can use webbing, because that's almost too long. So I mean, there are things that need to get changed on this for me, the way I made it. But other than that, the shape is great. I really like the little front pocket. Again, it just needs a little snap. Maybe the placement for the pocket to be just a smidge higher. But other than that, it's adorable. But yes, it is 5 minutes to 11. So that means I made this in an hour and 15. And that was, we'll say total an hour and a half. This was an hour and a half. And that was first time making it. stumbling through without instructions. And because I made it with vinyl, by the way, this does not need that foam unless you want it to be squishy. But I love how big this opens, how wide it opens up. It bothers me when tiny bags have that itty bitty, like you can get 2 fingers in there. This you can really sit there and put some stuff in there. You could put this would be really cute as like an English paper piecing kit, because you can put just about everything you need right in here. You could put your needles back here if you wanted. Like just put this a little bit lower. And that way you could put your needles in there. You could easily make this a nice little English paper piecing. Good God, say that 5 times fast. All right, well, it is lunchtime. And otherwise, I will just keep fiddling with this. But I hope you enjoyed the fun times. I hope they were fun. This is just adorable. All right. So, as always, it's been real fun. So, goodbye to, well, I gotta, every time I go to say goodbye, I can never get my mouth to work. There you are. All right. So, goodbye to you tubes, to the tubes.